This is Phil Bell from Freedomworks on the Daily Mojo with your morning update. Yep, Yahoo! Hey, we've got a new speaker, and it's a good one. Congressman Mike Johnson of Louisiana was elected Speaker of the House by the Republican caucus with 220 votes, which means almost every Republican in the caucus voted for him. It's great news because Mike Johnson is a committed conservative, a hard worker, a great retail politician, and somebody who can work with all of the disparate parts of the caucus and get the job done. Now, here's what we've got to deal with, though. We as grassroots activists now have an even bigger problem. Since we have all the tools in place that we need to succeed in the House of Representatives, it's time to push the House toward tackling spending. Spending has been a problem for us no matter who's been Speaker of the House, no matter who's been president, and no matter who's controlled Congress, because all of them have done nothing but increase that spending. Now, part of the reason that's happened is because we, the people, have continued to ask for it, and we don't stop. So step one is helping our fellow Americans understand why we as individuals have to take on the burden of governing our own lives and very rarely, only rarely, ask the government for anything. But step two is to go through and examine what the government spends money on. Now, I know this might seem like a very trite thing to do, but does anyone really know? Does anyone really understand what the government is spending money on? And does anyone understand why the government is spending this money? The reality is that not even the government knows this, and so it's up to us as individuals to push for that change. Once we do understand that, we will then be able to ask the question, not how do we fund the government? Because I reject the assertion that the government needs to be funded. What needs to be funded are the things that we, the people, truly need and that cannot be provided by us either as individuals or as groups. That number is very, very small. So the majority of the spending should go away, and we should be able to explain to our fellow Americans why it's not necessary, but also why it's necessary for them to be involved in understanding what the government does every day here on out. Now, the best way for you to do this is go on over to freedomworks.org and join our freedom teams. That's where you'll find a lot of committed patriots who are working all across the country to hold the government accountable, and you can be part of that number.
Phil Bell's Morning Update is only on thedailymojo.com.